Should you migrate your full accounting history into Zoho Books or just start fresh? So which one is actually right? Now to break this down, we have Mr. Vijey with us, our in-house Zoho Books expert.
That's the instant. Let's move everything. That way we don't lose anything.
Okay.
And make sense on the surface. But in practice, moving everything is rarely the smart call. So migration should give you the clarity, not drag old confusion into a shiny new system.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ZenTalks, where we decode Zoho Books one question at a time. I'm Deepthi, and today we are getting into something I get asked about constantly. Should you migrate your full accounting history into Zoho Books or just start fresh? And honestly, this trips people more than you think. And anyone moving from QuickBooks, Xero or Tally, they hit this exact fork in the road. And some want everything, like every invoice, every bill from past 5-10 years. And others go like, no, let's just start clean from this financial year. So which one is actually right? Now to break this down, we have Mr. Vijey with us, our in-house Zoho Books expert. Hi Vijay, how are you doing?
Hi Deepthi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks. So yes, so this comes up with like almost every project.
Okay.
The way I put it, like it's less, can we migrate everything? And it is more like how much of that history does the business actually need living inside Zoho Books?
Okay, so why does this even matter at all? Because like people assume like just bring everything over. Why are we complicating this?
Right. So that's the instant. Let's move everything. That way we don't lose anything.
Okay.
And make sense on the surface. But in practice, moving everything is rarely the smart call. Like full history takes longer and needs more cleanup and more validation. And here's the thing. So if your old data has errors, duplicates, wrong balances, or half reconciled transactions, all of that comes with you. And you're not leaving the mess behind. You're importing it.
So by this importing all the data, it is just like we are relocating the problem, right?
Pretty much. So really the decision should come down to what does the business need and how good is the data, what's required for reporting and audit, does the cost benefit even make sense?
So it's not like move the maximum, it's more of like move what's actually useful.
That's it, yes. So migration should give you the clarity, not drag old confusion into a shiny new system.
Okay.
So it's not just about dumping everything in it, and it's getting the business running on the clean, reliable number from the day one.
Okay, let's get into it little bit detail, okay?
Yes.
So what does a full history migration actually look like in practical?
So that's bringing in the past transactions like the customer, vendor, items, chart of accounts, invoices, bills, payments received, the vendor payments, credit, debit notes, expenses, bank transactions, journal entries, historical reports, all of it. So say a client has like 5 years of data inside Zoho Books. So we're not just dumping 5 years in at once. So it goes year by year, validated as we go.
And when is this actually worth doing?
So when the business genuinely keeps going back to their old transactions level stuff, so they constantly pulling their old customer invoices, checking the vendor purchase history and need for audits, or want a year over comparisons, repeat customers where the past transactions matter, or leadership just wants the full picture sitting inside a system. And in those cases, yes, full migration the right call.
So basically, if it's the old data, still doing work, not just sitting there.
Exactly. If it's actually useful for operations, audits, reporting, plan for the full migration. Carefully though. Assessment, mapping, cleaning, import, validation, every step matters.
So what's the catch here? Because this sounds really great in theory. What about in practical?
Yes. So it's not simple.
Okay.
So first, data quality. So old systems are full of duplicate contacts, inactive customers, wrong tax setups, outdated account structures, payments that never got linked right, and unreconciled bank entries.
Okay.
And the second one is the time. So more years, more extraction, more cleaning, more mapping, and more validation.
This time really adds up really fast.
Fast. The third is validation itself. So every year's opening balance, closing balance, receivables, payables, every invoice, bill, tax line, report, all of it gets checked. And the fourth is the cost. Obviously, more effort, more the cost.
True.
And fifth, usability. Cramming too much old, messy data and your teams wading through clutter just to find the current records.
So it helps, but if you get it wrong, you have made the new system heavier than the old one, right?
That's the risk. So yeah, so this shouldn't be a fear thing. So what if we lose something? And it should be like, is it the data actually clean and necessary?
Okay, that's all about full migration. So let's flip the side.
Yes.
Starting fresh, what's that look like?
So you go live in Zoho Books from a specific point.
Okay.
Like a new financial year, new quarter, whatever data you've agreed on, instead of every past transaction, you bring in just the foundation, like the chart of accounts, customer, vendors, items, the opening balance, outstanding receivables and payables, bank opening balances, maybe open invoices, bills which are still active. So everything else stays in the old system or an archived report. So books data becomes where the current and future accounting lives.
So even in this way, nothing is actually thrown away, right?
No, it's still there. So the backups, exports, PDF files, the Excel sheets, whatever archive makes sense. The new system is just starts clean.
So when's that the better move?
Right. So when the old data's messy, outdated, or just something people to touch much. So businesses only cares about the current accounting, the previous years already audited and closed, old reports are already filed, and nobody is referring to the old transaction anyway. Or like old systems was a mess. They want a cleaner chart of accounts, or this they just want to have a faster and cheaper.
Yeah, that's a lot of smaller businesses right there.
Right, a lot of them. So clean opening balances, correct outstanding transactions, that alone gets a workable system without years of clutter. And still depends case by case, but yeah, often this is like a practical move.
Okay, so coming back to Zentegra, so what does Zentegra actually tells the clients then? Full history or a fresh start? Somewhere in between?
Honestly, our go-to is the middle ground.
Okay.
So we usually pull in like opening balances plus the previous year transactions, like a clean foundation but enough recent history or the reference and continuity. So nobody's starting from a blank state, like you have the customers, vendors, items, opening balances, outstanding invoices and bills, and years worth of history.
Right, so that's like not starting from zero, but not hauling the decade of baggage either, right?
That's the balance. So clean setup, useful recent history, faster timeline. So go back many years and the project balloons, like longer, messier, pricier, especially when you hit duplicates and are broken records. And stick to the opening balances plus the last year, and the business gets something usable and fast.
Not too thin, not too heavy, right?
That's the goal. So enough to operate confidently without the system turning into a junk drawer.
So what if a client, really pushes back though, like, no, we really need the full history. What will you say in that case?
Right. So then we go for a full migration, like no question.
Okay.
So regularly pulling historical invoices need vendor purchase history, audit support, year over year comparisons, full transaction level reporting. Whole process depends on past records.
Okay.
So we are not forcing the lighter approach just because it's our default.
Okay, so it's not like a fixed approach. It bends around how much the history actually worth to them.
Right. So defaults opening balance plus a year. Right. So defaults opening balance plus a year. But if full history earns a place, we build for that properly. So don't migrate on autopilot. Migrate based on what's the data actually worth.
So is there like a simple way for people to figure out which camps they have in?
Yes. So a few questions worth asking.
Okay.
So do we need old transaction details regularly? Do we need historical reports inside Zoho Books itself? Is the old data even clean? Are previous years already closed and audited? How many years of data we realistically use? And do we need a customer or vendor history? Are our opening balances accurate? Are invoices and payments properly linked? Is the bank reconciliation actually clean? And what's the budget and the timeline? And does bringing in all the history make system easier to use or harder? Answer those honestly, and it's usually pretty clear. Opening balance plus a year, or go full historical.
Yeah, that's way less. It's like, what if we lose something, and more just what do we actually need? So yeah, that's way less what if we lose something and more just what we do actually need.
That's the shift, exactly. So loads of clients start with we want everything, and once we walk through it, they realize actually opening balance, outstanding invoice, and the bills, last year's data covers it.
Okay.
And some genuinely do need the full history. That's why the assessment conversation matters so much before anything starts.
Right, the assessment as you mentioned. Why is that step such a big deal?
Because it tells you the real state of things.
Okay.
Before you touch the migration, we are checking are the customers or vendors duplicated, inactive records still hanging around, or is the chart of accounts actually structured well, are opening balances correct, are invoices linked to payments properly, is the bills linked with the vendor payments, tax mapping right, bank accounts are reconciled, do the reports even match up. So skip that and you're migrating someone's existing problem straight into the new system.
So it catches the surprise before they even become the problem, right?
Exactly. So it tells us what to bring over and how much and what needs cleaning first and what just have archived. So good migration always start with a good assessment and no shortcut around it.
Okay, so once someone's picked the right approach and gone through it, what's actually changing for them?
Mostly the clarity. So clean records, accurate opening balances, transaction history, and that's actually useful. Like organized customers and vendors, receivable payables, they can track properly, report they trust, way less manual back and forth, and a system team can actually navigate. Get the migration right, and Zoho Books stops being just the accounting software. It starts working with like an actual finance management system.
That's a great way to put in, Vijay.
Right. That's really the whole point. Good migration was never about moving everything. It's about moving what actually matters.
Okay, that was genuinely useful. So full history or start fresh. For most businesses, the sweet spot is opening balances pulls the previous year's clean start, enough recent history to start useful. But if full history actually matters for audits, reporting, customers, or vendor references, then yeah, do the full migration properly.
Couldn't agree more. So it really comes down to your data for your reporting and audit needs, your timeline, where the business is headed. And that's exactly what we help clients work through at Zentegra.
So if you're watching this video and thinking, I genuinely don't know how much of my data should be moved into Zoho Books, whether that's opening balances, a year's worth or full history, that's literally what we do. We'll assess your data, figure out the right strategy, set it all up, validate it, and get your team started. So go ahead and book a free consultation with us. And if you want our team to take a look at your migration readiness, drop migrate in the comments and we'll point you to the right direction. Save this one. You'll probably want to come back to it. And thank you so much for hanging out with us on ZenTalks. And don't forget to follow for more practical Zoho and business insights. See you in the next one.